welcome back to Songbook Stories. So what I do when I do one of these videos, I go into my different rooms of where my collections are, depending on where I am. In the living room, I've got two Billy bookcases full of music, video, and DVD, VHS, whatever. If a CD comes with a DVD, it's out there. It's not in the collection with all the other music, with some exceptions. I think, yeah, actually, so this is one. This has got a DVD in it. I didn't even realize it. But anyway, so yeah, I start there and I pick out whatever is in the range that I'm dealing with for the video, and then I go into the bedroom and I look at 7 inches, 10 inches, and cassette tapes, and then CDs and vinyl to try to find everything dealing with the one part. So today we're only up to, we're starting at A's and we're only going up to AD. So we're not even close to out of the A's with today's video. But the very first CD, when it comes to the alphabetical part of my collection, is an artist named Aaliyah. Are you familiar with Aaliyah? 1 in a Million is the big song. I'm pretty certain she's passed away. God, I really gotta do some research on some stuff. I'm pretty sure she died a while back. But she had this big song, 1 in a Million, back in the day. I can't see the year on this thing. And so 26, 27-ish years ago, I was pretty into DJing vinyl records. I had 2 turntables and a microphone and whatnot. And I was really into jungle, drum and bass, and stuff like that too, particularly. And this DJ named Aphrodite dropped this record, Urban Jungle, in 99, I think it was. Yeah, 99. And this was incredible to me. Like I had never heard anything quite like it, and it stands the test of time too. I still love this album, this mix CD. And I kind of miss this style of music and everything, but Aaliyah is the last track on this, track 16, with 1 in a Million, Armand's drum and bass mix. But I do believe this CD, the Urban Jungle by Aphrodite, is on YouTube, and you can find this and check it out. It's well worth a listen. I love this. There's so many amazing parts, and just everything about this record is really great. But it's featuring Aaliyah, the very first artist in my collection. Moving right along, we got some Paula Abdul. You know about her, right? You know Paula. I don't have any Paula stories. I got ABBA. I don't have any ABBA stories, really. I'm not super big on disco, for lack of a better term. Anyway, that's all I have to say about ABBA. I got this huge case full of cassette tapes one time from my friend Hannah at East West Records, because she just didn't have room for it or time or anything, and it was kind of obscure stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. So I got a stack of this band that we're listening to. By the way, this is Metal Heart is spinning right now on that table right there behind me. Oh, can you see it? Yeah, now you can see it. Anyway, yeah, that's some old school metal. You remember Balls to the Wall? This one? Funny. So yeah, I mean, this is crazy. I was looking this up. the other day. Pretty interesting band from the 80s. Decent musicianship, as you can hear. And this band, The Accused. This is more fun than an open casket funeral. The Accused. 1987. Combat Relativity Records. Yeah. Again, no stories. I mean, I don't even really have any stories for the main band here. The bands you're all here to talk about, right? Akadaka. Rock or Bust. Ball Breaker. This I did have when it came out back in the early 90s, same as this, the Razor's Edge. Me and my friend Norton were torn between two shows. AC/DC was coming, and there was another band, another bill coming with David Lee Roth, and they had more openers and stuff, and something happened where we changed our mind and we wanted to go with the other show, and it ended up being my first concert. It was Extreme, Cinderella, and David Lee Roth instead of the Razor's Edge tour. I don't know if I made the right call. My whole life could have been different had I chosen to go see AC/DC instead. Who Made Who is doubling as the soundtrack for Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive, which I think Stephen King, written for the screen and directed by Stephen King. Maximum Overdrive, the one with the big clown face on the semi-truck from back in the day. Blow up your video. And then my introduction to the band was hearing Hell's Bells on a cassette tape, Back in Black. And what an epic intro, first album to get into this band on. Like, it doesn't get much better than Back in Black to me. But that's the extent of doubles of it. If you want blood, high voltage. Flick of the switch. Don't forget about Highway to Hell. Don't forget about Highway to Hell. Girls Got Rhythm on it. Shot Down in Flames. If you want blood, you've got it. All right. Yeah, that's my only real story for AC/DC. Like, Tony's seen them, but she's busy. She's in there. It rocked, I'm sure. I do have an offensive AC/DC-ish t-shirt that says "Rock out with your out." I chose not to wear it because I was already dressed. Oh yeah, I got some other stuff here. I got No Bull VHS. Got Live at Donington DVD. And then, like I was saying, the Who Made Who. This one is the soundtrack for this film right here, Maximum Overdrive. I'm a big Stephen King freak. I've got a bookcase devoted just to Stephen King, so I've got multiple formats of some movies, stuff like that, different covers. Yeah. Love this movie. It's not great or anything, but it is what it is. And then again in the 90s, they snuck away. I got Who Made Who on cassette as well. They found their way into a big movie with Big Gun for the Last Action Hero soundtrack. Remember the Arnie, where he comes to life from the movie screen and he's the real life action hero? Big Gun is an awesome song. I can play most of it on Get Fiddle. Alright, so that's the extent of my AC/DC collection. Alright, there so you can stare at him for a while. Let me see, I've got this Sub Pop DVD called Acquired Taste. So that's in the music movie collection in the ACQ. And then I've got some Bryan Adams. I need to learn some of this guy's songs because I know him. Everybody knows a bunch of these songs that have been on the radio our whole life. Got Best of Me. This has got all of them on it. Summer of '69. Can't Stop This Thing We Started. All for Love. Run to You. Everything I do it for you. Catchy stuff. I recently found this, and this is the kind of stuff that I'm getting more into. Like, I never was a soundtrack guy, but now that I'm such a big movie buff, I'm starting to get where I'm buying soundtracks that I find too, and building the soundtrack collection up a little bit. Alright, so that's it for my Bryan Adams. I have this artist named Oleta Adams. One CD there from Oleta. This is 1990, but I don't know if that's... Yeah, it is. Now there's another. There's actually multiple Adams, but so there's Bryan Adams. He's the '80s hit guy. Excuse me. I about burned my tongue on that when I first got it. I couldn't wait. So there's Bryan Adams, Oleta Adams, Yolanda Adams, but there's this guy, Ryan Adams, who I'm kind of a fan of him. I'm more a fan of him than some of his music, really, because I don't really, like, I couldn't sing a chorus from any of his songs right now, but to be fair, it's because I haven't really given them ample shots. Like, if I were to take one CD at a time and leave it in the car for a day or two, that would really help me, and that's what I've been doing recently anyway, is taking out CDs that I'm not too familiar with. Long story short, I don't know much about this guy's music, but I am a fan of his aesthetic and just stories, stuff that I've heard, and how he is, who he is. I think he's a pretty cool rock star, whatnot. And one night back in 2012, the Psychedelic Furs were on tour, and they had a band called the Lemonheads opening for them, which is one of my favorite bands. So I decided to go, and had no idea that I was going to meet Ryan Adams that night, because he was playing drums for Evan for the Lemonheads that night. And that was around the time that I was the most into him, or, just listening to his stuff. I knew who he was. And I when he was playing, I was like, oh my God, that's freaking Ryan Adams on drums. This is insane. and they were like walking around. It was at House of Blues here in Orlando, well, Lake Buena Vista, and they were like walking around after their set, getting ready to watch the Psychedelic Furs, and I introduced myself to Ryan Adams and just said what's up real quick. That was pretty cool. Great set from the Lemonheads that night. Awesome set. And that's about it really for this one. I've got a bunch of Adele here, Grammy winning artist Adele. Got 21 and 25. I gotta fill in those gaps when I find them. Cheap. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this edition. Sorry I didn't have very many stories, but let's see what's next. Aerosmith is next. After Adele, we're finally going to the AE. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, leave me your favorite emoji in the chat as a comment, whatever it is, whatever you kids are calling it these days. All right, I'll see you guys for Aerosmith. Thanks for watching.